Hello, it's me. I'm back to do another YouTube video. Now, I wanted to talk about, considering the fact that it's October 1st, I wanted to talk about Black History Month. Now, as you know, in America, Black History Month is in February, which I think is a bit of a piss take considering that February only has 28 days or 29 if it's a leap year. But here in the UK, we get 31 days. However, we've had Black History Month here in the UK for less time than America has had it. We've only had it for 30 years. Now, what's happened this year is the simple fact that here in the UK, councils, especially in London and other councils across the country, have decided that instead of calling it its original name for its original purpose, Black History Month, to acknowledge the contributions that Black people have made to building up the UK, now they want to change the name. They've changed it. They have two names. One is Diversity Month, where other ethnicities get to be involved. So, not just Black people, but Asian people, white people, whatever. And also have BAME, so Black, Asian, Minority, Ethnic Month as well, where everybody else gets involved. So, Black, Asian, Minority, Ethnic. Even though Black people are not a monolith, and neither are minority ethnic people, they're not monoliths. We don't all have the same experiences. So this is what's really irritating me. It's the simple fact that they've decided after 30 fucking years of having Black History Month, now they want to decide, oh, okay, you're not just going to have Black History Month anymore. What you're going to be having is this Diversity Month, where everybody else's history is included in with our histories, even though they're not even on the same playing field. This is what really gets me down. This is what I don't understand. Why on earth would you think it's acceptable to change something that we literally had to fight for? The disrespect of Black people in the UK is reaching the highest levels. And considering the fact, if you've not seen my video on Windrush before, my first video, Black people are still being kicked out of this country. So that's one form of erasure. And now another form of erasure is, instead of having Black History Month, now it's Diversity Month. When I don't understand this, because it's always Black people's cultural events that causes this issue, because no one will ever say shit like this to the Asian people when they have their events like Diwali. Imagine if someone said, oh, we're not going to have Diwali anymore. Imagine if someone said that. Imagine if someone said that to them. We're not going to have Diwali anymore or whatever. But every time it's a Black cultural event, we have this whole month for us, which is really nothing. Because if you're like me, you celebrate Black history all throughout the year. Because if you've watched my previous videos, I talked about Nanny of the Maroons. I've spoken about Boosa. I've spoken about the Black British Panthers. All of these contributions to this country, contributions to the Caribbean to get us out of slavery. And this is why we need this month. So that people don't forget, because the problem is people tend to forget. And we need this month to say, hey, look, don't forget what we've done in the past, It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's so frustrating, because this country will wear you the fuck out. If I'm being completely honest, it will wear you out, and it will wear you out. And unless you have the frame of mind to not let it get you down, you will be worn down, unfortunately. You will be. And that's just, what can I say? Every freaking time I have to come in here, it's always some kind of bullshit. It really is some kind of bullshit, because I mean, it's the 1st of October. It's Black History Month. We should be celebrating Black History Month, but instead we're having families torn apart because of the Windrush scandal. Now, even though I am aware that a lot of the people who have been deported came years after the Windrush, it is still classed as the Windrush scandal. When it broke back in March, that's what it was labelled as, the Windrush scandal. People who came here in the 1940s have been kicked out. 1950s been kicked out, 1960s been kicked out, 1970s been kicked out. 4 people so far have died this year alone without having their citizenship issue rectified. There is a black woman, I've forgotten her name. There's a black woman, she got deported back to Jamaica a few years ago. The British government, the Home Office, have given her British citizenship back. However, she has said she has no plans to return to the UK because she does not trust the government. She said that she will return back to the UK to visit her children who live here, but that's it. She has no intention of returning to live full time. She's made a home for herself in Jamaica and she's happy now to stay there. And I don't blame her, because if it was me, if I got deported and someone was like, oh yeah, I'm going to give you back your I'm going to give you back your citizenship or whatever, or I'm going to go to give you your citizenship, do you think I will come back after you deported me? Are you mad? And another thing is, a lot of people who have been deported, they've been given their citizenship, but yet they cannot afford to come back into the UK. And this is one thing we need to acknowledge. They don't even have the funds to pay for a ticket to get back to the UK. They can't even afford to get to the airport, one of the many airports in Jamaica. So for you to just say, oh yeah, we've given you your citizenship, but are you giving them the money to be able to get back into the UK? Because some of them can't afford it. The British government is a joke at the moment. This whole Brexit issue is just, isn't it funny how last year the whole Brexit issue exploded, and we was just like, how is this going to impact upon us? And I was having discussions talking about how I was going to apply for my Barbadian citizenship, and now this whole issue cropped up into the mainstream media in March of this year. Isn't that funny? Just a few months after the whole Brexit talks, that's when it cropped in. And it makes you wonder how clever the media are, because they would have known about this from a long time, because some of these stories are people being deported as far back as 2009, so 9 years ago. So now it's a case of what else is going to happen. Oh, and here's a little update. One of those I've forgotten his name now, but it don't really matter. However, one of those MPs or whatever, or MP or something, has said that they're going to deny Windrush citizens their citizenship if they have a criminal record or something like that. Then they can't get citizenship, so they will be kicked out of the country, which just makes it worse, because there was a guy a couple of weeks ago who was flagged up as having a criminal record, and he actually didn't. It was a mistake, and he almost he could have died. The police was just like on him like mad. He literally could have died. And it's just some super madness. Now I'm gonna do another video talking in full about that guy, because I actually forgotten his name, but once I got his name I can do the video. But yeah, he wasn't part of the Windrush generation. He actually came from an African country. I think it was Nigeria or something like that, but they flagged him up by mistake. And this is the thing, considering the fact how many people from the Windrush have been deported, right? They said they don't have the exact numbers of how many people they've deported from this country. So you wonder why so you think to yourself, there is absolutely no surprise why there are people who are being deported by accident. If you can't keep track of the people who you're deporting, and you claim that they're legitimate reasons for them to be deported, then how are we supposed to trust that you can say, well, this person is being deported because there's such and such? Like, no, you can't be trusted. UK government cannot be trusted. Like, and this is why it's so difficult to celebrate Black History Month, and it's even more of a slap in the face to have them say, no, we're not celebrating Black History Month anymore, it's called Diversity Month, as if white people have not been taken over and including themselves in things that we do for years on end. One thing we wanted for ourselves, just one thing, not a lot of things, but one thing we wanted for ourselves, and you have to do this. It's like super crazy, super mad. And that's why I'm saying it's so frustrating to live in this country where they don't even acknowledge you as a human being. Don't even acknowledge you as a human being. So it's just a case of, what's the point? Like, what's the point living here if we have to constantly deal with this disrespect? Well, yeah, I just wanted to do this video to talk about Black History Month and to do a quick little update on the whole Windrush scandal, because unfortunately the two at the moment are quite intertwined. They are. So first to kicking our relatives out this country, and now they're saying that you can't have Black History Month anymore. It's Diversity Month. Everybody can have October. Everybody can have October. That's what they're doing right now. The sheer irony, considering the fact that white people's history is 362 days a year. Your history is everywhere. All we learn is your history. Oh, apart from the little bit where you don't acknowledge your contributions to slavery. Yeah, you don't acknowledge that, but yeah, everything else is all you. All we ask for is 31 fucking days, and you won't even let us have that now. Everybody else has to take a piece of the pie. Scheme. Anyway, I'll be back in 2 seconds to do another YouTube video. Hope you enjoy your Monday afternoon. Stay blessed.